UFC Fight Night London finished up a few days ago. We're going to be matchmaking not all of the people on the card, these 8 gentlemen on the card. Some winners, some losers, and we're basically just been picking the next fight for them and who I think they should fight next, basically. Starting off with the winner of the main event. I say winner, dominator of the main event, Sean Brady. We're putting him up against Shavkat Rakhmonov. Now, obviously, I know a few people have said Shavkat Rakhmonov, and it might come across that I'm copying them. Listen, I said this fight should happen to myself in my room at 11 p.m. on Saturday night, okay? No one's there to witness it, but let God be my witness, right? I said this fight should happen before anyone else. You're going to have to take my word on that one. Now, the reason being is Shavkat Rakhmonov is not deserving of an uncontested title shot. He's got wins, he's got 4 ranked wins. Neil Magny, which hasn't aged very well. It's obviously, it's a good win, but it's not, Neil Magny. No, I've just said Neil Magny. Okay, that's embarrassing. Jeff Neal. So Neil Magny and Jeff Neal, both by finish, very good. Wonderboy Thompson by finish. But then he's got Ian Gary by decision, which isn't a bad win by any means. Those 4 fights alone are not enough to stand uncontested for a title shot when Sean Brady's just dominated the number 1 contender. I know he's not technically I know he's not the number 1 contender, but technically he was. So it's like, evens out. I think Sean Brady versus Shavkat Rakhmonov makes the most amount of sense. Winner gets a title shot against the winner of Balal versus Jack Della Maddalena. So, makes sense in my eyes. Moving on, Leon Edwards, the loser of the main event. Loser does not describe enough of what happened in that fight. The embarrassment to the country of both England and Jamaica. He should be stripped of both passports and sent into the middle of international waters. Okay? I'm joking. That's a little bit of over-exaggeration. UK government, don't put me in jail. I feel like he's going to get a massive downgrade. I feel like they give him Michael Morales. Coming off a win to Gilbert Burns, makes sense in my eyes. Leon's probably going to be ranked 4th. Have they updated the rankings, actually? I'm recording this Monday. Have they updated it yet? Just me being unprofessional. No, because it's like what time am I recording this? It is like 8 p.m. Probably no later than that. It's like 2 a.m. American time, so no wonder they haven't updated it. Anyway, I'm thinking Leon Edwards coming off not Leon Edwards. I'm thinking Michael Morales coming off a win to Gilbert Burns. Makes sense in my eyes. Moving on. Carlos Ulberg, the winner, big quotation marks, of the co-main event. I say you give him Yuri Prohaska. I don't think a title shot works because in terms of timing in the light heavyweight division, I know you can come along and say 8-win streak, just beat Jan Blachowicz, give him a title shot. If Ankalaev and Pereira 2 is happening, which we all know is happening, okay, they're running the rematch. If Pereira wins, they're doing a trilogy. If Ankalaev wins, he's still going to be out till what? When's Abu Dhabi next year? Like a year and a half? So in that time, other fighters going to have wins. And if Yuri fights someone else, he's going to be closer to a title shot than Ulberg is. So if we run Ulberg versus Yuri in 4 months, then winner guarantees himself a title shot against the winner of Ankalaev and Pereira, no matter whether it's a trilogy or not. So he needs to fight someone else. I know he wants to get a title shot, and under any other circumstance he would. But under this specific circumstance, I don't see it happening. That's just my opinion on it. And also Yuri's coming off a win, and he needs another win before he gets a title shot. So winning gets a title shot, basically. Next up, Jan Blachowicz, the quote-unquote loser, not retiring at the age of 42, rate it. He's still got it, bro. Close fight versus Pereira, close fight versus Ulberg. Give him Rakic. Rakic coming off a loss. Makes sense in my eyes, unless he just wants to fight down. Like, there's loads of people he can fight. It doesn't have to be Rakic. I mean, Rakic makes a lot of sense. Plus, they're probably both going to be ranked 4th and 5th, respectively. Or 4th and 6th, respectively, I think, after Ulberg. Yeah, Ulberg will go above. Low-key could fight the loser of Khalil versus Jamal Hill. Could fight Krylov. Could fight Ozdemir. Could fight a winner of Murskanov versus Walker. Loads of people he can fight. Loads of options for Jan Blachowicz. I think Rakic keeps him in the title picture and keeps him, if he wants to go on another run, which he could well do, keeps him within that area. Anyway, yeah, moving on. Mr. 4570 should stay at 170 pounds. Don't move up. Don't go back up to 185, fighting guys who weigh like 20 pounds more than you. 170, that's where you stay. Fight Brian Battle. Who tells me this fight's going to be cinema if this was to happen? Okay? Brian Battle, quite the personality. Some of his fights are a little bit boring. Kevin Holland, personality. So his fights are entertaining. You mix them together, we're getting an entertaining fight with two personalities. I want to see this fight. More, I just want to see him like crack down on each other. You get what I mean? I think Brian Powell's the type of guy who to break Kevin Holland mentally. I don't know why. I just see it happening. But this fight would be good in 45 to 70 days. So let's get it done. Plus, Brian Powell's probably going to be looking for a fight soon. Kevin Holland's known to do on short notice. I'm down to see it. You know what I mean? Next up, Nathaniel Wood. I don't know why have I put Nathaniel Wood in there. I'm putting Calvin Kattar coming off a loss. Is Calvin Kattar coming off 2 losses or just 1? Calvin Kattar. Calvin Kattar. Okay, that's not how you spell Calvin. And this video's gone to shit because I can't even. I'm gonna cut this bit. Holy smokes. Right, that took me a stupidly long time to get, which is very weird. I didn't know his nickname was the Boston Finisher. Anyway, moving on. Oh my god, that's a lot of losses. Holy smokes. So he's coming off 4 back-to-back losses. That's mental. Holy smokes, that ain't good. 36. He needs to hang it up soon, I'm not gonna lie. That's a live reaction as well. And he's lost 5 out of his last 6. Yeah. Nathaniel Wood makes sense in my opinion. That's really shocked me there for Calvin Kattar. Oh my, poor guy. Holy. Anyway, moving on. Marcin Tybura. We want to see the trilogy fight. Sergey Spivak, let's go. Sergey Spivak is booked against Gaziev. Most of you probably didn't know that. I didn't know that until I did research for this. If Spivak wins, run the trilogy. If Gaziev wins, run Marcin Tybura versus Gaziev. Makes sense in my opinion. I mean, we can probably even get this as an Apex Fight Night event. You know, Apex Fight Night main event, Spivak versus Tybura, the trilogy. We all want to see that. Run it, UFC. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic. This should be on the early prelims. Don't put it anywhere near an Apex main event, otherwise Lucas Tracy's going to retire again. Not Marcin Tybura, Mick Parkin. Mick Parkin lost because his posture was too bad. That's my excuse for Mick Parkin. And also because judges don't know how to score fights. You know what it is? I had money on Mick Parkin winning, part of my parlay, but it's we'll move. I'm very sad. Justin Taffer. You know, Taffer's not been cut from the UFC yet, doesn't have a fight. Mick Parkin can bounce back, get back into those ranking spots, you know? Alex Teixeira got a ranking off beating Justin Taffer. You know what I mean? Mick Park can get it. He can get himself back into, the rankings, bounce back, get himself against Sergey Spivak. We're chilling. You get what I mean? Let me know what you think of these matchups. I really like this one until everyone said it, and then now it just seems like the obvious pick. So, but I said it first. You got to remember, I said it first. But let me know what you think of this, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.